Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Market Update Show. And today we'll be looking at, is the market going to continue to go higher or not? Even the bulls have been surprising me as well. But as long as we take the emotions out of the trades and just follow the trend, when we are in a monthly, weekly, daily uptrend, we don't want to be fighting against the trend against us. So we'll be continuing to look for any signs of bearishness. When it turns, we will know. But at the moment, we don't have any of that yet. So I've been telling you guys for a couple months to just follow the trend. And we'll be taking a look at the QQQ, Sp500, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. So we'll be breaking out the 7 mega cap tech stocks, so we'll know exactly how QQQ will be heading into likely later this week. So when we know what the structures of the mega cap tech stocks, it'll give us a better understanding where the support and resistance for QQQ is. And QQQ will obviously be dictating where SPY is going to be going. And all right, let's take a look. So before we get into the charts, quick look at the data. There is not much data this week other than tomorrow, core sales, retails, and building permits. And the most key one for me is Thursday, the initial jobless claims and the manufacturing index and existing home sales. So that will be more key for me. And rates still the same. One hike, July, hold for the rest of the year into next year. No change in that. And sentiment data, we'll get this again this Thursday. We're still in the 40s for bullishness. I probably would say we'll still probably get in the high 30s and low 40s this week as well, due to how strong the market has been. So heat map, you can see money is still rotating around the market. There is no red flags in the market. Money is not leaving the market. When we see all sectors red, that means money is leaving the market. We haven't had that yet since forever. You can see I made a video yesterday about legger bull plays, where if the QQQ and SPY keeps on continuing, we will likely see money rotating into the smaller sectors like IWM, XBI, which is the biotech sector. There's also small cap, and many other growth themes are running right now. And make sure to check that video out from yesterday. You can see all the legger sectors that I'm looking at. And SMH, the semiconductor, is also a growth sector, so it was really strong today as well. All right, let's take a look at the actual charts. So QQQ is looking pretty extended, but we don't want to base our trades based on our emotions, because we can think it's overextended, and our indicators are like RSI, everything can tell us it's extended. But if the market don't show us any signs of weakness, why would we go to the play the other side, right? So in the morning, let's zoom into the 5-minute time frame. So when we opened, right, this is a decent move for the first bit. And this is a big enough drop now on the 5-minute chart, of course, where the bears are supposed to be giving us a lower high, meaning setting the pivot and change the trend to their favor, the 5-minute downtrend, right? At least the very first step, the bears got to give me a 5-minute downtrend. We don't even have a 5-minute downtrend. Well, we can't even look at an hourly downtrend or a 15-minute downtrend, any of that, right? So if the bears cannot confirm a 5-minute downtrend here, then obviously we'll be keep on looking at the bull side. And so on, for example, this would be a 5-minute downtrend right here. Bounce, set the daily 5-minute lower high, breaks the prior low. So that's a 5-minute downtrend. And then we can zoom out into like the 15 minutes and 1 hour kind of time frame. But this morning, right, this is a big enough drop where bears could have their chance to scout the downtrend. Didn't happen. For the rest of the day, we never got a 5-minute downtrend. So that means there's no fake outs from the bears or anything like that. Every time we set new higher low, another new pivot, a higher low, just keep on continuing until the end of the day. And pretty sure there's someone reporting earnings after hours, so we had a little bit of a drop, but zero fake outs from the bulls today, and it's very clear the whole trend is going up because bears never confirmed a 5-minute downtrend. So even if you're a day trader, intraday scalper, without a 5-minute downtrend, you don't want to be looking at the bear side. Of course, let's take a look. We zoom out to the hourly. All right, so hourly chart is quite extended. Just had a straight move up, no consolidation. Even have a no consolidation yet. We needed one candle going below the prior candle, which we did not see for this whole move up. So the most likely scenario, probably we are gonna get a little bit of pullback, and we'll see if the bulls are gonna buy that dip or not. Let's take a look. See, didn't make a new high today, so now we have a lot of room for that higher low here. Let's say we pull back to 0.382 around this 381.66 range. Still an hourly bull flag, so we'll see if that shapes up tomorrow. And if we do break that, bears will negate the hourly bull flag. Then we come to the 50% mark. If we do bounce at the 50% mark, it's still chances of us testing highs is going to be higher. But if we do break the 50, then on the next bounce, it can potentially start favoring the bears a little bit more. Probability wise, there's no definites. So we'll see if bears can actually show up tomorrow, because we are extended in pretty much a lot of time frames. So if bear is going to show up, it's pretty much someday this coming week. Even if they show up, doesn't mean we're just going to drop all the way. It would be something like this, right? This drop or this drop. That would be pretty significant already. This drop is already close to 4%, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's close to 4%. So if we drop 4% from here, we are looking around this 367 mark. That would still be above our current pivot for our daily trend pivot. This was the previous pivot. We made a new higher low. That's our new pivot now. So as long as bulls hold above this prior pivot and bounce, the chances of us testing the 52 high again is pretty high. Obviously, we don't want to see that big of a pullback, because bulls would still like to have a daily bull flag. So if we just pull back to 375, that's very minimal pullback for me, and it'll still be very healthy for the bull trend. As for now, zero signs of that yet. So I want to see bears giving me an hourly downtrend tomorrow for anything to start. And we gotta go below today's low for daily consolidation to start. I want to see us go below today's low of today's candle for that for consolidation to start. Just like this one went below this one, and that's when the daily consolidation starts. And then we'll probably get daily consolidation very soon. Maybe one more day up, and then we'll get the consolidation. But it's starting to shape up potentially tomorrow. We'll see if we get that hourly downtrend. All right, let's take a look at SPY. SPY is very similar, of course. I mean, usually KQQ is leading SPY, so we're like right around that 450 to 453 resistance zone. See when we pull back to we're back here at this zone right there from 21 to 22. This zone we are trading in, so we'll see if we can break above that. If we do break above the zone 454, we're back to this all-time high structure zone that we're potentially be testing. We probably, based on the actions we're having now, we're probably gonna be testing this all-time high level closer to the end of the year. Just depends on how earning rolls in this this quarter. We'll see. This got a lot of earnings coming in this week. We have Tesla Wednesday, Netflix as well on Wednesday, and ASML, which is a semiconductor sector, a semiconductor stock. TSM is also semiconductor, so we'll get a glimpse of the semis as well as a little bit of the tech. None of the big techs yet, although Tesla counts as one. So we'll see. And as long as it comes in better than expected, because we're expecting negative earnings, as long as it comes in slightly less negative, the market's just going to go higher. And we'll see. Continues. But SPY. All right, let's take a look at the technicals. Same thing. See if SPY confirmed a 5-minute downtrend. Nope. None at all. No 5-minute downtrend, so no fake outs today. 5-minute uptrend, continuation, sideways, breakout, equilibrium, breakout, no head fakes. Everything is a pivot. Everything pivot is always above the prior pivots. So if you bought in the morning, you just have to hold through the whole day and then just take profit at the end of the day. Up to you. This looks like bank earnings dropped a little bit after hours. That's not that big of a deal. We'll see if there is follow through from the bears tomorrow. If not, then no signs of anything. We'll see if this 450 can hold when we come down to test this 450 level. If not, then we zoom out to the hourly. We want to see a big enough drop like this. This was a big enough drop where bears could have scalped that hourly lower high and form a downtrend for the hourly, but they didn't show up today, and bulls just took over. And a new high could potentially ship out like a megaphone. Let's take a look here. It's actually looking quite like a megaphone. Yeah, so we only have, you can say this is 3 touches, but so megaphone could be our visual guide because we are making new highs without follow through, and we'll see if we make a new low without a follow through. So this is what megaphone would look like in these ranges. BQ also probably had a megaphone then. Let's take a look. Not as clear of a megaphone as SPY would, but we'll see. Yeah, so very first step for bears, I want to see the hourly downtrend. Then we'll zoom out into the daily. As of now, daily is still perfectly in an uptrend, weekly, monthly, you name it. So follow the trend and don't fight the. If you want to short intraday, if we get like a 5-minute downtrend going, then you add your short, then take profit. We don't have to nail tops. When we see some weakness in a daily chart, we will know when to turn around and short our trades. All right, let's take a look at Nvidia. Let's see, Nvidia is looking pretty decent. The semiconductor has a super strong day today, so it definitely helped Nvidia compared to outperforming QQQ as well. So we don't have any signs of any weakness just other than Friday. This is looking a little bit like a 4-hour head and shoulders. Let's see here. Although if you go to the 4-hour, you take out there's no left shoulder anymore. Otherwise, it would look pretty good if we had a left shoulder. Hourly, similar idea. Where head and shoulder just an uptrend going into a downtrend. So right here was where the bear should have taken it to the downtrend and break that support line if there was any weakness. But we didn't see any of that. You can see bulls play defense. Defense just couldn't get down below that. And once we broke out, went above it. So no signs of that yet. If the bears cannot even confirm an hourly downtrend after such a big drop, or it gives enough room, then bulls are just going to continue because this drop was totally enough for that hourly higher low being set. Although we haven't negated yet, so we can reject here and go lower tomorrow and still get the hourly downtrend. So now, looks like bulls are playing defense pretty strong. So we'll see tomorrow if they confirm that or not. Because if we do confirm that, that's also a 4-hour downtrend confirming. If we do break that, because this drop was definitely up, if there's enough room to try to form that downtrend. Daily, no signs of that yet. I want to see an hourly and 4-hour downtrend first, potentially to mark the top for the daily. Right now, we don't have any signs of that on the daily yet. Even though this looks like a big candle, we have a big candle down here too. So it could just chop around and form a base. So who knows? Until we get that a clear trend change for us to say we can play the other side, right? We could drop all the way down here to 437. We're still above the prior pivot. That's still a daily uptrend. No fake outs. It's always uptrend. Prior pivot is next pivot is higher. And then when we drop even to here, the pivot's still going to be higher, right? So bulls have a lot of room to work with. Even if we drop another 6% or 9%, we're still above the prior pivot. So definitely a lot of room for bulls to work with. As long as the trend is in favor, the bulls on every time frame will stick to that, even though our logic tells us that every part of our emotions telling us this is way too extended, overvalued, and all that kind of stuff. But as a trader, we take that emotion out of us and continue to follow the price action, because price action is everything, because all the news, all the macros, everything you can think of that causes people to press the sell or buy button is shown in the chart, right? Right. All the buy buttons, sell buttons, all the decisions of all those, everything is included in the price action. So when we focus on the price action, we don't get any fake outs. All right, Tesla. So Tesla last week, I talked about where this, when we can't even fill the gap, means it's weak selling from the bears. And we bounce off the 12 EMA twice, bulls by defense. Likely scenario is that we're going to head higher, because even though I know we bounced the like 100%, not 100%, close to 60% already at that mark, our logic tells us we're probably going to go lower. But when the chart tells us bears cannot sell to even fill the gap, when it's like 20 cent or 50 cent away or something, then we know it's weak selling. And bulls play defense around the 12 EMA, can't even break the 12 EMA, then it's really not going anywhere. 12 EMA is quite a strong trending line. If it was like the 50, right, and I'll be like, okay, it's a bit different. And this is the 12, meaning the momentum is still really strong as well. And next thing we know, head higher for the next 4 days, right? Because we know bears cannot fill gaps, and there's likely not a lot of bears around. So the path to the least resistance is always the path that it will go, right? If it took so much strength from the bears to just almost get that gap, and they're just like trying their hardest so hard and they couldn't do it, right? The least resistant path is up. Essentially, that's what we got. And let's take a look at where it might go. Still no hourly downtrend for the bears. So just follow the guide. Our uptrend is our guide. It's continuing. And we'll see if it tests the pre-market high tomorrow. Bears confirm a 5-minute downtrend today. Yeah, we got a small 5-minute downtrend here today in the morning. Some weakness. And ever since we bounced off the 284 support, bulls never look back. As you can see very clear, 284 is prior resistance. And now we're acting as support. No red flags, nothing, no fake outs. Very clear pivots. 284 resistance, 284 resistance, 284 resistance. Broke above it this morning. Coming back, retest, perfect bounce, bulls. Exactly where you'd be adding when we retest that 284 and bounce off of it. For a long scalp. And you're taking a profit at the end of the day, or just continue to hold it. Stop loss higher every pivot. All right, Apple. Very simple. No fake outs either. Apple, very, very straightforward. We've been talking about this for months. 2-day EMA 12. As long as the bulls hold that, it's absolute full control. And none of you should be shorting the stock. You can see. Bounce off of this. Bounce, 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 bounce again. And absolute zero fake outs on the 2-day time frame of the 12 EMA 12. So I had to do go to 2 days and type in exponential moving average, and type in number 12 EMA, and you get that line. Obviously, it's not like that for every chart, but for Apple, it's been holding for at least since March. So that's been 4.5 months. So we have no fake outs for 4.5 months. And bulls could just held this stock with absolutely zero worries. If we zoom in, of course, we had days where it looks like it's red days, but it's no big deal. Because in any bull market, there's always pullbacks. Pullbacks are healthy, and essentially what we got. So once it held that 2-day EMA 12 on Monday, last Monday here, we bounced off of that, and bulls didn't never look back again. We were a little bit slightly weaker. We're over here. We're just kind of like going sideways a little bit, just deciding which way, if the bulls want to hit higher or not. And once Monday opened, bulls took over again, up 1.73%. Pretty much what held them up the market today for Apple. So as long as the 2-day EMA 12 continues, Apple is probably going to break. Currently, it's a double top, but we can't say it's a double top yet because Apple just ran out of time for it to test it properly. So tomorrow would be the telling for us to see if this would be a double top rejection, if we do reject or not, or we break above it tomorrow. Because we only touched it in the last hour, and that is not enough time for us to say it's a rejection. As you can see right here, we couldn't get over it for the last hour, and it came a little bit lower, but that's it. See a clear downtrend forming in the hourly down here for us to say it's a double top rejection. So now, no signs of that yet. If we do break that, we're heading to all-time highs. Probably $200 would be the psychological resistance because there is no resistance above us because it's all-time highs. It's going to be price discovery, and that's only about 3% away. So it's not that big of an ask. Obviously, we're not going to just shoot right to 200 when we break this level, but in one day, we'll probably grind up. Market continues to go up. The way he says that Apple can't hit 200. All right, let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon looks like it's just starting to form this new chop zone. You can see all these chop zones back here. That's what it likes to do. This is the first chop zone. Broke out of it. Forms a new chop zone, a little bit higher than the prior one. And we broke out of it, so it's likely probably forming a new chop zone here for Amazon. So as long as it holds, Amazon holds above 131, which is the prior strong resistance, then bulls are okay. Then there's no like huge red flags or anything. So if we pull back down here, bounce, chop around here, then we're good. So we'll see if bulls can come and hold that 131 level prior resistance. And the next resistance is 136.5. So that's a strong one. So see if it actually forms a chop zone here again. But so far it's looking like it because you can see Amazon's a little bit weaker today. And that's you can call this a one move, but you can call this also a hourly downtrend. So we'll see. It'll probably test that 131 this week. This is the most likely scenario because it'll likely fill the gap and test this 131 to see if the bulls are actually serious about it. So you can bounce off that level. All right, Google. Google is still in its chop zone, even though this was the prior chop zone. When we broke below it, we still bounce off of that and it pretty much formed a new chop zone. So no fake outs either. There's a lot of other stocks to play. So we'll see if Google can decide to finally break above this 126 to 125 range. We've been looking at this range for 2.5 months. So we'll see if it can hold. So 116 and 1 versus 126 and 125. Still no daily uptrend though. This is one move. So tomorrow we get a candle below today's candle, then that's a daily consolidation. And then we need to break above today's high for us to form a daily uptrend. So now it's in a neutral trend because Google was in a daily downtrend, now into a neutral trend. As long as we don't break above this, leave it alone, or you can just short it here, put a stop loss here, but I wouldn't because how strong tech has been lately. Let's take a look in the hourly charts, see if anything. Very choppy, but you can say we formed an hourly downtrend here, but it's not a lot of follow through, so I wouldn't really, unless we broke this 124 low, then I would say that's a lot more convincing. Then we'll probably come down to this 121 and form that daily consolidation shape up. 21, we'll see if it breaks tomorrow or not. Level for bulls and bears. All right, let's take a look at Microsoft. So Microsoft's double top rejection looks a lot more clear than versus Apple's, right? This is not a double top rejection at all yet, right? If Apple looked like Microsoft, then that's a double top rejection. But after the rejection, there's not a lot of follow through from the bears. So we can say it's a double top rejection, but we're not seeing a lot of weakness yet. Right here. So this was an hourly downtrend confirming, but we bounce off the prior support, this 342. And now we have a big enough room where potentially Microsoft can change the hourly trend back to the uptrend. So we'll see if Microsoft bulls going to retest that double top again at 150, sorry, 350, or come back down to this 342 and 341 range to retest. You can see all this resistance now is acting as support when we bounce off of here. So we either get another test, bounce, or test, break. If we break that, we're coming down to 335. Now, enough bounce. We'll see if this 345 holds. 345 holds, bounce tomorrow, and break 346. That's an hourly uptrend confirming. Then we're probably going to test 350. Yes. And the daily chart. So this is one single move. I talked about it on on Friday, that we need an hourly consolidation for one candle to be below the prior one, and then break above the prior high for the daily uptrend to confirm. Now we have that. So this is a daily consolidation candle today. One move straight up. Now we have a consolidation. Now the question is, can we break this double top to form a daily uptrend back to the bulls? We'll see. Not, then we have further consolidation. Even if we pull back a little bit more, it's still perfectly fine for the bulls. So we are holding exactly at 0.382. At that, I talked about this on Friday, where it's a daily bull flag if we hold above 0.382, which is that 342 zone. And we bounce off of that exactly today. So next step for the bulls, break above this double top prior high. And it will continue to nice. If we do break above that. All right, take a look at Meta. Still one of the strongest charts. No fake outs either. Very similar to Apple, but even stronger because this is on the daily chart, 1 day chart, not the 2 day. So the daily EMA 12 for Meta, it's just a perfect guide for full bull control. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Chop zone, no fake outs either. Very clear zone. Bounce again off the 12 EMA. Above, new chop zone. Look above again. No fake outs either. So as long as it follows the EMA 12, bounces off of it every time, and continues a daily, monthly, weekly uptrend, then there's no point really trying to short it other than trying to nail the top, which is very, very hard thing to do. You have failed already multiple times on this way up, and we still don't have the top yet. So um, what we should be doing is rather wait for it. If we do see some weakness, confirming a daily downtrend, then we might have missed a couple percent. Then we short it, right? Better than you losing a couple percent all the way up here every time you try to short it, and then finally nail the top. Then you have lost more than you made, because if we just waited patiently, miss a couple percent, then we have our shorts. As of now, no signs of that yet. We're just in a daily consolidation from a daily uptrend and zero signs of weakness. We're probably, even if we drop to this 300 level, it probably wants to come down here and then test, bounce, see if the bulls can play defense at 300 level, because it was acting as prior resistance. Now it's going to act as support if we do break below. If we do come to test that 300 level, it should bounce the very first time initially. Doesn't mean we're just going to bounce all the way up here. It just means something we're going to bounce, and then we're going to see if the bulls follow through or not. If they follow through, we're coming back up to this 313. If they don't, this is a weak bounce, then there's a chance that the bear is going to take it down lower than 300. But the very first time we touch it, it's going to coincide with the 12 EMA, so there's likely going to be a slight bounce at the very least. Then we'll see who's going to actually take over or not after that initial bounce. So now we're testing pretty much the top of this all-time high structure. So the low of the structure is this zone right here. It's 318 and 313. All right, that's all I got for you guys. If you guys learn anything, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another update. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. And have a great rest of you guys' day. And remember to follow the trends.